French herbs and spices. Herb usage. When using herbs and spices to season foods, it is important to use them sparingly. Sparingly means small amounts. Herbs should be used to enhance the food's natural flavors rather than to dominate them. Only very heavily spiced exotic dishes require a large amount of flavoring in their preparation. So it means that ang gamit sa herbs kay para pa-enhance sa natural flavor sa pagkaon, pero dili pwede palabanan. However, pwede siya daghanon og butang basta ang certain food nagkinahanglan og daghan nga herbs para ma-enhance ang natural flavor. But we need to remember that dili pwede daghanon og butang ang herbs, especially if dili ra mga exotic ang mga foods nga gipang prepare. Kay manimaho siya og instead nga makagain kag lami nga food, lahi na hinuon ang ma-produce. Example, kabantay mo if ang humba malabanan og butang sa bay leaves, lain kaayo siyag baho. Nya ang baho dugay kay mawala sa baba, ang uban ludan or dili na ganahan mo kaon. Mauna siya result if mapalabanan og butang instead makatagamtam kag natural flavor sa food, dili na hinuon. Oils give herbs their aromas and flavors that are volatile and can be destroyed if enjoyed. So it means that ang oil naghatag sa mga herbs og aromas and flavors sa lain-lain nga mga spices nga gigamit. Og ang kani nga oil nga na-produce pwedeng maguba or destroyed tungod kay magdepende if giun sa pag-process ang oil. But after all, this type of oils give spices sa ilang mga characteristic nga lasa og aroma. Moving forward, select just enough herbs to be used, dried or frozen the same day. Herbs should be look healthy, fresh and clean without any type of discoloring. So it is important to maintain nga healthy, fresh and clean ang mga herbs nga gigamit without using mga discoloring kay naa ni siya bati nga effect sa food and there are any chances nga mausab ang lasa or ang flavor. In general use, herbs are any plant used for flavoring, food, medicine, or perfume. Culinary use typically distinguishes herbs as referring to the leafy green parts of a plant, either fresh or dried. A brief history of herbs.
The story begins thousands of years ago, before the recorded history, when man didn't know how to write or read, but knew how to follow their instincts. They discovered that certain herbs could alleviate their pains, others could make a wound disappear, and others could even kill them. In the course of time, societies developed and with them appeared the means to transmit their knowledge other than orally. 5,000 years ago, in ancient China, people used rhubarb, Brunei palmatum, as a purgative without knowing anything about the actual active substances they contained. Also, they used ephedra to treat asthma, even though the substance called ephedrine was discovered much later, in 1887 AD. All Oriental ancient civilizations had their insights into the fascinating world of botany, as plants were one of the few elements to which they could resort to heal themselves. The famous king Hammurabi of Babylon, 18th century BC, recommended mint to cure constipation and other digestive disorders. Mesopotamian doctors considered that the best time to take a herbal medicine was at night or early in the morning, a principle which is confirmed nowadays by modern studies. The Indians had an entire system of rules, prescriptions, remedies and practices, called Ayurveda, many of which involved the use of plants. They also had strict rules about when, by whom and from where the plants should be collected. People in ancient Egypt knew and used the castor oil plant, wormwood, saffron and oregano to heal and disinfect wounds. They also put coriander in their tombs so that the spirit will remain healthy in his afterlife. There are written records of their use of garlic, especially for the workmen who built the pyramids, indigo, mint and opium. The Greek and Roman civilizations have made a major contribution to the medical science.
So those are the some information of herbs. Moving forward, dried herbs versus fresh herbs. Dried herbs. Use more fresh herbs than you would dried herb. The loss of moisture strengthens and concentrates the flavors of dried herb. So it is said that ang pagkawala sa moisture ka mas kipakusgan pa ang flavor sa mga dried herbs. That's why mas maayo gamiton ang fresh herbs kay dili pa kayo ni tantong isog. in general use half the amount of dried herbs than you would when using fresh herbs. Yes, as I was saying, lahi rang effects sa herbs basta fresh kay dili pa kayo ni tantong isog.
Good day, this is Gracelyn Mercedes speaking, and I will be discussing about the basic herbal formula. Basic herbal formula: dried herbs are more concentrated than fresh, and powdered herbs are more concentrated than crumbled. Each herb is slightly different, but a starting formula is 1/4 teaspoon powdered herbs is equal to 3/4 to 1 teaspoon uncrumbled, or the equivalent of 2 to 4 teaspoons fresh. And also, herbal formulations means a dosage form consisting of one or more herbs or processed herbs in specified quantities to provide specific nutritional cosmetic benefits meant for use to diagnose, treat, mitigate diseases of human beings or animals. And we have a commonly used types of herbs. We have parsley leaf. Parsley leaf, flat and curly, matches well with chicken, eggplant, eggs, fish, game, lentils, mushrooms, mussels, pasta, peas, potatoes, poultry, rice, seafood, tomatoes, zucchini, and lemon. And also, parsley is widely used in Middle Eastern, European, and American cooking. Curly parsley leaves are often used as a garnish in the Middle East and Europe, and in the Western Asia. Many dishes have fresh grained chopped parsley sprinkled on top. Root parsley is common in Central and Eastern European cuisine, where it is used as a snack or an herb in many soups, stews, and casserole. Parsley is often used as a garnish, but it can also enhance flavor and benefit the health. The herb is rich in vitamin K. And the next is chervil. Chervil is sometimes mistaken for parsley, used for flavoring fish, chicken, or omelets. A member of parsley family, chervil has a mild flavor with hints of licorice or anise. And also, chervil, sometimes called French parsley or garden chervil, is a delicate annual herb related to parsley. It was formerly called myrrh due to its volatile oil with an aroma similar to the resinous substance myrrh. As you might expect from its refined appearance, chervil tastes mild and subtle, a little like parsley, but with a sophisticated yet gentle aniseedy warmth. Next is
Basil.
is paired most often with tomatoes.
Basil.
Primarily used in sauces, pizzas, salads, and pasta dishes. It is also main ingredients in pesto. Also is a yerba plant belonging to the mint family that is used in cooking. It
Basil.
is an herb in the mint family. It adds flavor to meals, and its nutrients may provide health. And the next is thyme. Thyme, included in seasoning blends for poultry and stuffing, and also commonly used in fish sauces, chowders, and soup. It goes well with lamb and veal, as well as in eggs and croquettes. Thyme is often paired with tomatoes. Thyme also known for the aroma and flavor of its dried leaves and flowering top. Thyme is native to Eurasia, and it's cultivated throughout the world. Thyme is a Mediterranean herb with dietary, medicinal, and ornamental uses. The flowers, leaves, and all of thyme have been used to treat a range of symptoms and complaints.
So the fifth commonly used types of herbs is oregano. So di ba nakaila naman ta, wala namang guroy, di kaila kung unsa na ang oregano, but dapat lang gihapon nato ibawan og aton hapong tanawon kung unsa ang mahatag niya nga benefit sa atoa or unsa ang iyang magamit or unsa na siya nga tanom. So, oregano is gitawag sad na siya og marjoram ug atong nailhan sa scientific name nga Oreganum vulgare. So, oregano is para sa akoa or para sa tua nga nailhan ra nga common niya is mao siya ang para sa ubo, round healing, parasite infection, and also other condition. But oregano is naapa na siya lain nga benefit. Like, goes with the vegetables, maayo ka siya nga tanom para sa roast beef, lamb, chicken, and pork. So marjoram goes well with all pork and veal and complements or stuffing for poultry. So mauday na siya ang oregano ug unsa iyang na hatag nga benefits. So the next commonly used types of herbs is ang rosemary. So rosemary we also known as scientific name of Salvia rosmarinus. So rosemary is atong nailhan is mao na siya ang fragrant evergreen need-like leaves or blue flowers native the Mediterranean region. But napada na siya lain nga benefit nga mahatag sa atua. So rosemary is aromatic flavor blends with the garlic and thyme to season lamb, roast, meat stew, and marinades. And also rosemary even leavens lighter fish and poultry dishes, tomato sauces, and vegetables. And also rosemary dress fresh stem red tomatoes and peas or a stir-fried mixture of sushen and summer squash. And also rosemary has a tea-like aroma and piney flavor. Crush leaves by hand or with a mortar pestle before using. So mao na siya ang benefits sa rosemary. And also natin picture diri. So kani nga picture is ang kanang naa sa left and right is mao na siya ang rosemary nga fresh. And also kang naa sa center is mao ang dried is manana iyang naong if kuha na siya malaya or mamatay ang iyahang dahon. But bisag dinana na siya is naalang gihapoy benefit nga mahatag niya. So mao na ang rosemary. So, the next commonly used types of herbs is a dill. So, dill is also known as scientific name of Atenum gravulens. So, para sa ako is dili familiar ang dill, but atong tanawon sa picture is maora siya ang celery family, murag celery family ra jud siya. Then, atong ilaulahon ni siya ug unsay mahatag nga benefit niya or para asa ni siya. So, dill is a grain widely in Orissa where its leaves and seeds are used in a herb or spices for flavoring food. And also, dill is good in soup, omelets, seafood dishes, herring, salmon, potato salads, and steamed vegetables. And also, dill seed is used in breads, sprinkling, cabbage dishes, stew, rice, and cooked root vegetables. So, mao din na mahatag niya nga lalain nga benefits sa mga flavoring and also sa mga herbs. So next, the commonly used types of herbs is chives. So chives is also known as scientific name of Allium chionaprazum. So chive it is a Amaryllis family relative to onion plant. So di ba? Makita jud nato sa picture nga mura ra siya jud onion plant is related ra jud siya. Is kung wa ta makailaan na is makaingon ra ta nga onion plant na siya. But chives di ay na. So ato lalahon kung para asa na ang chive or unsay hamahatag diya nga benefit. So chive is leaves many foods above the ordinary, sprinkles them on soups, salads, chicken, potatoes, cooked vegetables, and egg dishes. So blend chopped chives with butter or cream cheese, yogurt sauces, and baked potatoes, and also and toward the end of the cooking or as a garnish. Mauday na siya ang gamit sa usa ka chives. So, makaila na ta sa unsay na og makahibaw na ta og para asa di ay na siya magamit ang chives. So the next commonly used types of herbs is bay leaf. So familiar naman guro sa ato tanan ani, but ato yung ila-ilahon kung para asa ni siya or unsa paylain nga magamit ani niya. So bay leaves is commonly used as scientific name of Laurus nobilis. So bay leaves is fragrant are basic ingredients of bouquet garni, but they have other wonderful uses. Bay leaves may be added to many fish dishes, particularly salmon, costards, stew, rice dishes, and especially soaps. So mao din na ang gamit sa mga bay leaves.
Tarragon, together with parsley, chervil, and chives, make a traditional French blend. Fine herbs. Tarragon is exceptional in egg dishes, poached fish, mushrooms, and other vegetables. Tarragon is good with chicken and in salad dressings. It is often used in sauces like béarnaise and French cuisine. Tarragon is also often used to infuse vinegar and olive oils. So, tarragon, this is together with the parsley, chervil, and chives. It is a traditional French blend. And next, move on. Mint is used for seasoning lamb vegetables such as carrots, bell pepper, and tomatoes in yogurt dressings and breads. It is also used in the Middle East for salads, tabbouleh, and marinated vegetables. Mint is good in soups, salads, sauces, plain meat, fish, and poultry, stews, sweet or savory recipes, extremely good with chocolate or lemon-based dessert, and near the end of cooking for a better flavor. Many types of mint exist, including creeping types that make excellent ground cover and varieties that grow up to fit in height. So mint is used for seasoning lamb. As we all know that mints it is good for soups, salads, sauces, and many more. Next is edible flowers. So these are the varieties of edible flowers. These are the examples. Culinary uses for herbs. Make herbal butters and cream cheeses by mixing 1 tablespoon of finely chopped fresh herbs to 1/2 cup margarine, butter, cottage cheese, low-fat yogurt, and cream cheese. Let it set for at least an hour to blend the flavor, then taste test on a plain cracker or a Melba round. Then for salsa, hot sauces and picante and add finely chopped fresh for dried herbs directly to the mixture.
Good afternoon, Mom. Good afternoon, classmate. Today I'm going to present about culinary use for herb. Flavor vinegar for use in cooking and in vinaigrette. Roast 1 cup of leaves for every 2 cups of white wine or delicate vinegar. Allow to steep for 2 weeks. Herbal salads. The beauty of this herb salad is that it can be as a sweet or as a pungent as you like. Serve in a big heap as a fresh first course or a small pile as a refreshing side dish or as a plate cleaner with a cheese course. Herbs, edible flowers are flowers that can be consumed softly. Flowers may be eaten or vegetables as a main part of a meal or may be used as herbs. Tabbouleh is a Levantine salad made mostly of finely chopped parsley with the tomatoes, main onion, bulgur, and seasoned with olive oil, lemon juice, salt, and sweet pepper. Some variations add lettuce or use semolina instead of bulgur. More culinary use. Tarragon ice cream is a get anised and the silk of olive use very fresh tarragon to get the fullness of its flavor and a good fruity rather than peppery oil. Sorbets. This frozen delight contains just a fruit and no dairy sugar. It's often
churned in a ice cream maker, which mix is escapable but not creamy. Restaurant use sorbet as a palate cleanser during multi-course meals because its intense fruit flavor is extra refreshing. Sauce used for another test for the recipe or it's a flowery flavor to make the recipe tasty.
Spice. A spice, a product from another part of a plant, usually dried, including seeds, berries, bark, roots, and fruits. A brief history of spice.
Fragrant spices. The magic of spices. We have been trading spices like cinnamon, pepper, and turmeric for thousands of years. But because exotic spices don't grow in colder climates like ours, Europeans have had to travel to the east, to civilizations like Asia, the Middle East, and Northeast Africa to buy spices to ship back home, sometimes sailing for weeks or months at a time. In the very early days, spice traders would make up fantastic stories about their journeys and how they found the spices in order to get more for their wares. They would tell tales of deep glens filled with cinnamon and infested with snakes, and other exotic spices guarded by winged creatures. But now we know better, as we can visit the places the spices grow, and can see they are cultivated in much less fantastical ways. Nutmeg, for example, is the seed of this tree. The inside part of the fruit is the bit we grind to create the nutmeg. Cinnamon is the bark of a tree and looks like this. Pepper is made from these tiny berries, and cardamom comes from green pods that look like this. People continued to trade spices through the centuries, and in the Middle Ages, the quest for spices was one of the reasons Europeans started to explore the globe further. And the spices they found were so highly prized that wars were even fought over trade routes. All the colourful and fragrant aromas must have seemed very exotic and magical to the Europeans who were buying them back then. And because of this, they were inspired to use them for many different purposes, from flavouring and preserving their food, to making perfumes and dyes, and sometimes even medicine. In fact, in Elizabethan times, it was thought that the spice nutmeg was a cure for the plague, a deadly disease at the time, which pushed up demand and made it very expensive to buy. Today, we know that spices don't cure us of diseases, but they do make our food taste great. So next time you eat a gingerbread man, or sprinkle some cinnamon on your hot chocolate, spare a thought for the long journey these magical spices have taken to season your food.
So those are the some information of spice.
Spices were among the most demanded and expensive products available in Europe in the Middle Ages, the most common being black pepper and cinnamon. Salt and pepper is the common name for edible salt and black pepper, a traditionally paired set of condiments found in dining tables where the European-style food is eaten. The pairing of salt and pepper as table condiments dates to 17th century, and history believes that the popularity of black pepper came from King Louis XIV. The picky monarch demanded that these meals would be lightly seasoned, only throwing salt and pepper on his food. The French cuisine that was developed in the period of time became the basis of much of what we eat today in the Western world. We all know that salt came in different flavors. These are used to add interesting taste and aromatic infusions into a dish. Peppercorns have a long story of use as a condiments and currency during human civilization. Peppercorns were first used as a spice more than 4,000 years ago. Piper nigrum, or black pepper, is a flowering vine in the family Peperaceae, cultivated for its fruit, which is usually dried and used as spice and seasoning. Piper nigrum, the peppercorn plant, belongs to the Piperaceae plant family. It is a woody evergreen vine that grows up to 11 yards tall and has dark green, broad, somewhat oval-shaped leaves. The plant uses aerial roots to help them cling to and climb trees. Peppercorn corn plants have small white flowers that bloom in a cluster of up to 150 florets and hang down in a spike. These flowers then ripen into the little berries that we know as peppercorns. It takes several years for a young plant to flower and begin to produce fruit. Since peppercorn plants prefer hot, humid tropical environments, they are mostly produced in India, although production also occurs in Indonesia, Brazil, and other tropical places. Black pepper often takes on the name of the region where it is produced.
Peppercorns. Immature green peppercorns have a fresh and spicy flavor that leavens foods while adding a slightly milder peppercorn heat. Freshly ground black pepper provides a delightfully spicy kick and that unique peppercorn flavor. Black telecherry and Balabar varieties. White peppercorns deliver a clean, spicy peppercorn taste without the flavor or dark specks from the peppercorn's outer coating. Pink peppercorns have a lovely fruity flavor and a mild pepper flavor without any of the heat. Sichuan pepper has a unique aroma and flavor that is not hot or pungent like black, white, or chili peppers. Instead, it has light lemony overtones and creates a tingly numbness in the mouth that sets the stage for the hot spices. According to Harold McGee in On Food and Cooking, they are not simply pungent, they produce a strange, tingling, buzzing, numbing sensation that is something like the effect of carbonated drinks or of a mild electrical current. Sunshows appear to act on several different kinds.
So these are the assorted peppercorns, where we can see the different colors of Sichuan and assorted peppercorn.
Additional spices. Cayenne, a hot, pungent powder made from various tropical chilies. The cayenne chili is a bright red chili that ranges from 2 to 5 inches long and about 1/2 inch in diameter. Cayenne chilies are generally sold dried and used in soups and sauces. The majority of cayenne chilies are used to make cayenne pepper. Cinnamon is a spice obtained from the inner bark of several trees from the genus Cinnamomum that is used in both sweet and savory foods. Nutmeg and mace have similar sensory qualities, with nutmeg having a slightly sweeter and mace a more delicate flavor. Mace is often preferred in light dishes for the bright orange, saffron-like hue it imparts. Nutmeg is usually for flavoring many dishes, usually in ground or grated form, and is best grated fresh in a nutmeg grater. Star anise is the sad pod of an evergreen tree Illicium verum, grown in the southwestern China and Japan. It has a mild licorice flavor. Black cardamom has a distinctly more smoky though not bitter aroma with a coolness some consider similar to mint. Green cardamom is one of the most expensive spices by weight, but little is needed to be impart the flavor. It has a gingery flavor. Saffron, because each flower stigmas need to be collected by hand, and there are only a few per flower, saffron is the most expensive spice in the world. Cloves are the aromatic dried flower buds of a tree in the family of Myrtaceae.
Chili peppers are usually red or green colored chili pepper that may vary in size, shape, flavor, color, and hotness. They are the fruit of plants from the genus Capsicum, member of the nightshade family Solanaceae. They contain capsaicin, which gives pepper their characteristic pungence and produce mild to intense spice. Paprika. Paprika is a spice which comes from a mild red pepper in the family Capsicum anum. It is brilliant red powder and often used as a garnish. Paprika ranges from sweet and mild to hot. The pepper is grown widely and takes on a slightly different flavor depending on the local soil and climatic conditions. Curry powder. Curry powders usually consist of turmeric, cumin, ginger, and black pepper. Some blends also incorporate garlic and cinnamon. What all curry powders share is a sweet warmth and pleasant pungency that adds a toasty depth to everything it touches. So, ang nakita ninyo sa picture, ang chili powder, ang paprika, same raw naong. Then, basi nagtuusad mo, og same ra na sila glasa. Well, dili na sila same og lasa. Kaya lang chili pepper also contains cumin and garlic powder. While ang paprika made from variety of sweet peppers and mixture of chilies. Then, ang curry powder consists of turmeric, cumin, ginger, and black pepper. Then, naasad ni siya pagka-sweet flavor. Turmeric. Turmeric is a common spice that comes from the root of Curcuma longa. It contains a chemical called curcumin, which might reduce swelling. Turmeric is a bright yellow spice powder that is made from the root of the plant in the ginger family, Zingiberaceae, Curcuma longa. Vanilla. Vanilla is a spice from a long black pod which when opened reveals tiny black fragrant seeds that provide the most popular ice cream flavoring in the world. The flavor of vanilla is distinctively sweet and perfumed with a hint of smoke which can be compared to caramel while the aroma is warm of wood and honey. Lemongrass. Lemongrass is said to taste like mild citrus with a hint of ginger. Named so for its lemony aroma, this herb actually possesses the same oils as the lemon fruit and is often used as a substitute for lemon flavoring. Fresh lemongrass may also offer notes of bright, floral, and calming mint. So, at what you see in the picture, turmeric kay same-same og naong sa ginger. Well, same jud sila kay kaliwat man, pero ang turmeric has a golden yellow color and a bitter taste with a peppery flavor. Then, syempre, you already know the vanilla. Kay permini nato siyang gamiton sa atong pagluto. Mao ni siya pang pahumot. Then, for sure, ang lemongrass, kaila na jud tanani. Kay mao niya tong gamiton if magtinola tag manok. Kanang tangad. Ginger. Ginger is one of the most popular spices in the world and comes from the underground stem of the ginger plant. The flavor of fresh ginger is lightly peppery and sweet, with a pungent and spicy aroma. Much like garlic, fresh ginger mellows with cooking and turns better if burnt. The ground form is not as strongly flavored but has a warm bite and a little sweetness. The aromatic fiery spice has been a signature ingredient in Asian cuisine since ancient times. Fennel seeds. Fennel seed is the oval, green, or yellowish brown dried fruit of Feniculum vulgare, a member of parsley family. Fennel has an anise-like flavor but is more aromatic, sweeter, and less pungent. Fennel seed added to meatballs or meatloaf give an authentic Italian flavor. Cumin. Cumin is a spice made from dried seed of a plant known as Cuminum cyminum, which is a member of parsley family. Cumin is one of the most popular spices and is commonly used in Latin American, Middle Eastern, North African, and Indian cuisines, among many others. So, at what you see in the picture, ginger is warmly spicy and has a light brown and pale yellow color. Kaysa atong turmeric kay mas kuan ra ba to siya, golden yellow color gani. Then fennel seeds and cumin. So, tanaw ninyo kay same ra sila pero lain ni sila kay ang fennel seeds greeny siya color og dagkoon, while ang kaning cumin pino ni siya nga seeds and brown o color. Then, ang fennel seeds are commonly used in desserts and sweet dishes, whereas cumin seeds are used for savory preparations.
Most herbs and spices have substantial antioxidant activity, owing primarily to phenolic compounds, especially flavonoids, which influence nutrition through many pathways, including affecting the absorption of other nutrients. One study found cumin and fresh ginger to be highest in antioxidant activity. These antioxidants also can act as natural preservatives, preventing or slowing the spoilage of food, leading to a higher nutritional content in stored food.
That's all. Thank you for listening and God bless.